Yeah. I, oddly enough, I do feel like alcohol does help. I'm pretty sure from an actual, like, if you were to ask a doctor, they'd be like, no, you're a fucking idiot. That doesn't help, but it
If you
helps.
were to ask a doctor from like the medieval times, like
Probably like the 20s,
a
the
pint, yeah, that too.
1920s, they'd be like, yeah, no, that fucking shit works, man.
A
As soon as we
pint of
get out of
ale.
this prohibition.
Yeah, you got to go to the Stroh's factory in Detroit, and then you got to make your way to Canada and go get more. Oh yeah, but we're not here for history lessons.
Good, because I can't remember dates for shit, and I'm curious if I got the prohibition time right. It's
I'm
fine. Don't
thinking,
worry about it.
I'm thinking you're close. I'm thinking you're
I'm
close.
close. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the podcast, everybody. We're your hosts, Nick and Brody. This is the WASD and Beyond podcast, proudly sponsored by Final Boss and Doc Longy. Eyes on their pages. They are dropping leftovers soon, hopefully. So whatever you missed, go there. Final Boss, I believe, still has some Fallout stuff. He might have some Duke stuff in there. Some CS stuff might pop up. So eyes on the pages. Doc Longy's got some stuff he's working on. So head on over to the Final Boss page and the Doc Longy page. Go get some of that. While you're at it, please join the Spawn Camp community Discord server. We are a fun time, I like to think. It is free. You can hang out with us. You can argue with us. You can play repo with us. And just, it gets ridiculous. And it's fun. And
We
it's
had
a good
13
time.
people in repo. There's always more room. I know how to adjust it now. We're good.
You're not supposed to. It's not supposed to be like that, but somehow
You would think it would help, and it actually hurts, I think.
the content, amazing.
Fantastic. It's good
Mm-hmm.
time. Good time. If you want to
Evan,
actually progress through levels,
no,
not so much.
no. Evan Giblified us,
Yes, he did.
and it was cute.
It was adorable.
I
I
felt,
did send him quite a few more pictures. It's like, hey,
oh
man.
God. I'm waiting for him to send one of like me like squeezing my balls because everyone got that photo. If you're in,
Unfortunately, yeah.
you got to be in the inner circle for that. So when we make a Patreon, I'll make a special thing for that.
Yeah, that's
But
not
like,
just in the regular Discord. That one is behind a paid wall of friendship.
it is.
Unfortunate friendship
you,
at times.
you don't get to leave this one. But I'm waiting for Mid Journey or not Mid Journey, the other one, the fucking AI.
Chat GPT?
Chat GPT. I'm waiting for Chat GPT just to get pissed off and be like, dude, that's enough. Like when the AI goes, nah, because it already bitched at Evan earlier.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said
Chad was wearing like a t-shirt. I said like, I don't think it's. I'm gonna off myself or something. It said something along those lines.
Oh, it had that. Yeah, it was Was it on the shirt or was it just like part of the meme?
It was in
Where
the
it was like, I
text.
hate
It was
my
part
life.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. And Chat GPT was like, hey man, can't do that. It's pretty sad. And it's like, you
You
listen to
okay?
me here, robot. It's not your time yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Not yet. Not
You
yet.
still listen.
It's soon.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Shit
The
fucks
rate
shit.
we're going? Come on, man. Not
At the
good.
rate we're going, we're gonna have nothing left.
We had to explain AI to Mario last night. And robotics and all of that. Me and Morgan.
I love my family. I do. I do love my brothers. They're curious little men.
They are. They're
They're
curious
curious.
little men, indeed.
They do mean well. They do
Yeah.
mean well. Uh, I think a lot of the thing that stunts the men in my family is the trauma that our fathers bear upon us.
Yeah,
Which if you
generational
want it,
trauma. Fuck yeah.
which I am not passing down to my son. Some would call what I do gentle parenting. I go to the bathroom and I put my face in a towel when he gets me to that point when I go "Wah!" into a towel. And then I come out and go, come on, little buddy, let's go play outside. And he smiles the entire day. Gentle parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Now he stays up till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I was
Really
going to say, let
fucking
me know how that goes in a few years.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. Anyways, no, Landon's cool. He's a fucking cool ass kid.
He's a good
But
kid.
Elliot was like talking that ish. And I was like in the car and they were on through the radio. And I said, tell Elliot to shut up, Army Brat. He goes, shut up, Elliot, you Army Brat. Elliot went, "Well, there's that." It was good. The 5-year-olds are fun, man.
That was
Like,
the calmest response that I could have expected from Elliot on that one.
it's Lando. You can't get mad at
Yeah.
Lando.
Yeah, that's
Land
right.
he's adorable.
That's right.
Anyways, before we get into this main topic, I want to explain to the audience that this is a surprise episode for Brody. It's probably, if I had to
Mm,
say, going to be a shorter episode. I think it doesn't need to go an hour. I think we could talk about everything in a half hour. I really do. I think we can get
okay.
some points across in a half hour, and I
Alright.
think we can have fun with it. I really do think we can have fun with it.
I'm so scared. Just given the setup that you gave me before this, I'm completely blind, which I'm I don't like being blind, Nick.
He does not. He does not like to have his hands tied behind his back. The you know, here's the thing. We gotta take risks. Gotta take risks. In the day of his eye is starting to fucking go. In the days of us not rage baiting, we're not winning. We're not winning the fight. We have to rage bait. We have to clickbait. Brody, we're losing the fight. I post kawaii memes, no response.
Mm,
I
yeah.
rage bait, lots of responses.
Hey,
What have
all
you been?
engagement's good engagement, I think, or at least something like that.
It's something like that. So before we get into the topic, do you want to briefly tell everybody what you've been playing this week? Or do you want to just get into the topic? Because I can see you're like, dude, I just want to get this over with.
No, yeah, I'll talk about it briefly. A lot of the same, honestly. A lot of Monster Hunter, a lot of Repo, little bit of Marvel Rivals, a lot of Marvel Snap on my phone still. Uh,
Very good.
I think that pretty well sums it up. That's
You are
not
just
really
trying to get
exciting.
there.
No, I've talked about these at length, so there's not really a whole lot more to say. Really, Repo's still a great time if you can get everybody together, and even when things go to shit, it's still a blast. And because it's that content thing, right? Like the things that make other people laugh make us laugh as well, and so it's a good time. Monster Hunter, I'm definitely getting. I want to. I'm 47 hours into Monster Hunter, I believe.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I'm definitely reaching that like end game. I'm through all the story stuff. It's just a matter of like grinding at this point. So I'm kind of losing a little bit of steam on it, but I still will be playing it and still hunting monsters. I want to make all of the armor and all of the weapons before they start launching more content updates. And then there's a content update at the end of April, so I'll have plenty to do there. But yeah, I'm losing a little bit of steam. I'm not quite as addicted at the moment. So
Yeah.
but yeah, how about you? What you been playing?
Obviously, a lot of repo. I will say, since we're talking about repo, this has been the easier game. We have a thing in Spawn Camp where we say the game of the week. Um, it started with Lethal Company. Not really started there, but Lethal
Yeah,
Company was a big one. And there's just plenty of those games of the weeks that people will play for a week, they love, they fall off, but then you'll go back if it's a party night or what have you. Repo has been one of those games that is really
it's
it's
lasted
it's
so
lasted,
far.
and it's done more for us than Lethal did, because Lethal, when that came out, that was like, it was like, boom, we're playing Lethal tonight. I already know. I don't even have to ask. I'm gonna hop on. Everyone's gonna go, all right, hop in. Repo's the same shit, but like nothing feels forced. Like people are just like, "Hey, are we playing Repo?" And it's like, "Yeah, we can play Repo."
Yeah,
Like everybody's like, $8, $10. Yeah, I'll play Repo. I don't give a fuck.
right. I think
So
I've bought it for like two or three different people at this point. Like, I mean,
yeah,
$10. It's a low barrier to entry. Like, hell yeah, let's get as many people playing as we can and just have some fun.
yeah, it's great. If you don't have Repo, I would highly recommend buying it and supporting that team. KCD2, progressing even further through that. The game, I like it a lot. I love the game. I really do. If you don't like chores, don't buy this game. If you don't like tough situations in games where it's like not unbearable, but like if you can't wrap your hands around this game, you're just not going to want to continue forward in it.
That's why I haven't picked it up. I know it's a
Yeah,
game that I would bounce off of, unfortunately, because it sounds great, right? Like
it
the
is.
concept of it, and I know the people that get into it really get into it.
Yeah,
But
Chad.
Yeah, it's unfortunately just a game that I knew was not really my bag, and so I'll leave it to other people to talk about.
It's a tough game, but like once you get your like really, it is like when you get your hands on the game and like you get it around that game, it's like okay, cool. I understand the world is open up now. I know how to do this. I know how to fight. Fighting, sword fighting, especially in my opinion, is very difficult. Um, Easy to learn, hard to master type shit, but
Yeah,
it's rewarding, it's fun, the story is engaging. You're becoming a knight. It's like a knight's tale, dude. It's fucking awesome. So
yeah.
that's really what I've been playing. And that's what we've been playing.
I'm so
The
scared.
news has been so with the news being sparse as of late. Obviously, we had the Nintendo thing today, with a couple cool games that popped up there, but
Mainly Metroid Prime 4, but
Metroid
even
Prime
then,
4,
I didn't get to watch it today, unfortunately, but,
I didn't either.
I did hear that there was a very, very brief snippet of Metroid Prime, which still makes me a little concerned for this game.
Just release it. Do something, man.
I ooh, I don't I didn't even see I need to actually go and look and see if there was a release date there or if it was announced that it was I assume it's gonna be coming to both Switches. Um, but yeah, kind of it's such a weird situation with that one for sure.
Are you getting Switch 2?
I probably will eventually.
Okay. You're not gonna be an
Um,
early adopter?
I don't know. A lot of it depends on what they announce, right? Like if they announce a new Zelda game, I am far more tempted to pick it up. If they just announce another Mario Party or something like that, less likely.
What about a new Odyssey?
I don't know if that's a big enough selling point for me right now. I'm going to need more than just that. A Zelda game,
Yeah.
I'm a huge Zelda fan, so I am more likely to pick up a console for a Zelda game. But we've actually talked about it in my house a little bit. My kids like barely even touch the Switch anymore, which fair enough, right?
Yeah.
We don't really like play Mario Party or Mario Kart like we used to. It's just kind of one of those things. Like the Switch has run its course. We're ready for something new, but even then, my kids are getting older, right? Like they're reaching that same point that I was when I stopped playing Nintendo games for the most part. My oldest, especially, like he's gonna be 13 here soon. He's like, I don't want to play that. Like that's a kid's
I wanna
game,
kill things now, dad.
right? Yeah. So it's kind of a weird situation. I am interested in the Switch, but I just I don't I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up right away. It'll probably not that I'm gonna be waiting for a sale because Switch or Nintendo in
It's
general, like,
not gonna
hardly ever
happen.
has sales, right? But it'll be one of those things. I'll wait until there's probably an established library for it, before I pick it
Cool.
up.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, and I am gonna go into this serious. I'm not gonna fuck around with you. So, I guess I brought up rage baiting and all that shit and clickbaiting on the top of the episode, right? And that got my brain thinking because I've been seeing a lot more of that, especially in our community, the gaming community. In the gaming community now, you see engagements really driven by rage baiting. You see it driven by almost fear mongering in the gaming community, and it's fucking weird. And I have a two pointed topic I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
One, where is gaming leading, right? And how has it really changed this much? Back in the day, and what I mean by that is this. Back in the day there were like communities, right? So you had console community, like your fucking retro community, PC community, and like everyone intermingled. It was fine, right? The PC players would be like, "You guys are all plebs. Get the fuck out of my face." Console players were squabbling amongst each other, going, "Oh, I have a PS5 or PS2. I have an Xbox. I have a PS3. I have a GameCube." And then you have your retro players. That's cool, cool. But now it seems more and more that, and back in the, mind you, back in the day, that was cringy to everybody, no matter what community you were a part of. Nowadays, doesn't matter. It's just everybody is like out for blood, no matter what. No matter what company does something, no matter what community is doing something, it's always has gaming gone woke, has gaming changed for the worst, right? And it's so confusing to me because a hobby that brings so much joy to people The worst people in the hobby are the biggest demographic. Men in their 30s are the biggest demographic for gaming, right?
Yeah,
So
grown adults that should know better.
so my question is, how has it changed this hard? Or are we the ones that changed it, right? Cuz like for me and you, I still play video games like I'm 15.
Yeah,
I can still remember loading up Assassin's Creed for the first time. And yeah, Ubisoft it's a lot of maybe a lot of this is the companies doing it, right? The way they change, and then you watch the business models change, and then the veil is lifted, and you grow old, and you go, ah, we don't care about the quality and the content anymore. We care about the money. So that's why you see your Assassin's Creeds do what they do. But now we have Shadows out, and in my opinion, in this moment, this is one of the most divisive games on the market. Not because it's controversial, because it's gory or there's sexual elements where there's like boobs and hookers and stuff like that. That's not why. It's because they didn't get
damn.
it cultural. GTA, where are you? They didn't get it culturally correct in certain regards. And that is important to the Japanese culture, right? But my problem is this.
But it's not Japanese people that are complaining about it.
Thank you. So that is this week's topic. It's really, how did we get here? What is changing? Is it us or is it the companies? And I guess for the clickbait, has gaming gone woke?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
It's not
Lot to
that scary.
unpack
See,
here.
it's not
It's
that
not that
scary though.
scary. It's not that scary. I'm gonna piss some people off. Um, so
And that's fine.
to start with the initial thing you said about like the console war type shit, right? A lot of that is not significantly different than whether you're an Android or iPhone guy. It is people buying into an ecosystem and then feeling the need to justify themselves to other people why they bought said ecosystem. It is them marketing for free for a company, and it means fucking nothing to the individual themselves. It means
They laugh. Yes.
everything to the company. You look at a Sony. Sony loves when people are screaming their name from the rooftops. I will say, at this point in this generation where we are currently at, Xbox is not waving the white flag. They're going, fuck this, instead of standing here with muskets shooting each other back and forth for no fucking reason. They're like, what if we got better firepower? What if we did something different? Let's change the fucking game. So Xbox, yeah, right? So Xbox is um well aware that the console war I use in quotations is not going their way, and so instead of floundering and trying to gain back this market share of what's happening in the gaming industry, they are instead going, hey, let's work with Valve, let's work with Nintendo, let's put our games onto PlayStation, let's do anything that we can to bring money back into this company. And whether it be selling a piece of hardware or selling software, it doesn't matter. We're going to make money. They invested, what was it, $69.3 billion into Activision. They're not
Yep.
just going to be like, well, we're still standing on this console. Or no, they changed their business model. They went to subscription model. They're like, hey, you can get PC Game Pass. You can play Xbox games on PC for like $20 a month or $18, $19, whatever the
It's like
fuck it
something
is.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we get money from that. And a lot of people will just never cancel that because they're like, well, what if I go back to that game that I play? And so they just keep it. It is a constant revenue stream, and that's what they're making their money from. They've completely switched the game, right? And it's similar in the way of like Nintendo, right? Nintendo is never trying to keep up with a console war. They do their own fucking thing over there in the corner and make billions of dollars.
More money than God, dude.
Right? So it's such a weird thing, especially in this day and age, like in 2025, to sit here and be like, console wars. And you still see it, right? You still see it. If you go on to X, Twitter, whatever the
Mhm.
fuck you want to call it, there's still people screaming from the rooftops like PlayStation has the games. It's like, well, actually they don't. They really aren't doing anything right now. It's kind of one of those like poke it with a stick, like, are you gonna do something? Because they really aren't doing
Xbox
anything right
just
now.
gave them Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Xbox has released almost more PlayStation games than PlayStation has in the last few months. Like it's kind of a weird thing, but at the same time, like and then on the other side of the fence, right? You have the Xbox fanboys who are like, "Oh, well, Xbox is changing this and this and this and this and they're
Yeah.
doing this, they're releasing it everywhere. It's so smart." And it's like they're both businesses. They're both doing the same general concept of operating a business which its sole purpose is to make money, and
Yes.
they're just doing it. They have different business models. They're doing something different. And at the beginning of this console generation, I bought a PlayStation because I wanted to play PlayStation exclusives. I also had Game Pass, and I have game so I can play games on my PC. I also ended up buying an Xbox eventually because I have two kids, and if I only have one console, that's kind of a problem. So I
You're
have two
fucked.
consoles. We have options. They share and they play whatever game they want to play, right? It's not the whole being locked into an ecosystem. The only reason it makes any sort of sense whatsoever is because you have invested money into said ecosystem.
Yes.
Other than that, it means fuck all. Whichever your preference is, cool, have at it. It doesn't matter. That's perfectly fine. And yeah, so it's just such a childish thing. Like for 30-year-old men to be or men and women to be on Twitter bitching about which fucking piece of hardware is better is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my
But
entire
Brody,
fucking life.
team blue or team green? Which are you? I hate
Fucking
that, dude. I just want a game. I just wanna
yeah.
play my games.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And
as teenagers, it was cute. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm a fucking Xbox guy," and then it's like, "But also
yeah,
I'm this
we're
guy too."
edgy.
Yeah,
We
it's
play
like,
on Xbox. We
I
have
play on
Gears of
Xbox.
War.
Oh, you guys got Killzone? Enjoy that canceled franchise, nerds. But it was fun. The console wars. Keep in mind, I don't think people understand this. Companies like this have psychologists
Yes.
on staff
Yes.
to analyze this shit.
Mhm.
This is they like this. They want
They
this. They
love it.
they love it because no matter what, I don't I don't give a fuck. In this console cycle, if you had the money, you got both.
Yeah.
And because of COVID,
Mhm.
you were
Everybody was
able
locked in at
because of
home.
and we were getting that money.
Yeah. I
I,
put an ungodly amount of time into Animal Crossing, a series I have never played in my entire life because I was locked
same.
in my motherfucking house. So me and my wife sat there and played Animal Crossing. Like
That's it. That was it.
it's
I bought a Switch.
yeah. Yeah. I There's 3 Switches in my house. All because of COVID. Like, the
There's
first one
like
was prior to COVID, and then after that, we're like, "Yeah, but the kids are playing one Switch, and then my wife needs a Switch to play Animal Crossing, and then I need a Switch to play Like, COVID hit, they locked everything down, and I went immediately to Walmart, bought my wife a Switch, is like, "I don't know, here."
just figure it out, lady.
She has Animal Crossing in it, and that's it.
Oh
Like,
man.
God. Oh, yeah, it's crazy, man. I've always been very like I guess not always, right? I agree. When I was in high school, it was very much or even middle school, right? It was very much
Yeah.
like I've got an Xbox. We have Gears of War, we have Halo.
Hmm.
Fuck PlayStation. That's stupid. And it's like and then I grew up, but some people just didn't do that, I don't think.
Yeah.
And they still have that mentality of like a 16-year-old arguing about which piece of plastic's cooler and you're like what are we doing here? Why are we doing
Yeah.
this?
Well, it's obvious which one's cooler.
Yeah,
It's the
the
one that you
PC.
build yourself. It's the one that you build yourself, and then you go, "Oh, I don't need any of that."
Yeah,
But like, I
like, fuck
love I
all that.
love having my consoles, though. I
Yeah,
love
I do
having
too.
them.
And that's where I'm at that weird point with the Switch too, right? Like, I sit here and I say, I'm like, "I'm not gonna buy that. I don't need it. There's no need for me." And then when it comes out, my stupid ass is gonna go to Walmart and buy a
Mhm.
fucking Switch too. I
It's
know I
FOMO.
will. It is, right? And there's the element of like the FOMO part of it, and then there's also the element of like, well, somebody's got to talk about this fucking thing. I guess it might as
I,
well be me. I don't know.
we will be adopting early because Perry already said she's getting one.
There you go. Well,
So
we have some representation then, but
yes,
yeah. Um yeah, let's hear your take on that before we switch to you say it's a two-part thing. It seems it's kind of three-part.
it's a
It's
three
three-part.
pronged
It's
serpent.
three-part. Yeah.
Serpent, not serpent. Serpent. Fuck.
You got it. You're
Anyways,
fine.
agrarian. That's another word. Um, it's a lot of the same people that I knew growing up who were terminally locked in,
Yep.
and they. I mean, I love nothing more than to just sit where I'm sitting right where you guys see us recording is where I like to spend my time.
Mhm.
Either I'm in this corner of my desk or I'm at the other corner painting Warhammer. This is my element. This is where I feel safe. This is what I like to do. And this is what makes me happy, aside from my wife and my kid and my friends like Brody and Evan and a couple other guys. But it's the same people that I knew back then who are still doing this shit,
Right.
right? Like trying to argue one way or the other for consoles. And there are some benefits to having a one console opposed to the other, but anymore it really doesn't matter, right? So like back in the day it mattered. You wanted to play Killzone, you got a PS3.
No.
You wanted to play Gears of War, you wanted to play Halo, you got a fucking Xbox. You wanted to play Last of Us, you got a fucking PlayStation. You want to play Zelda, Mario, Metroid, Mario Party, you name it, you go to Nintendo. And that's just what people did. And that's why we have a lot of in my opinion, there's a lot of like niche crowds
Yeah.
nowadays, right? Like people who still are back when we were growing up who were like, well, I'm a Nintendo kid. That's a
Right.
lot of the phrases you would hear, like, I'm a PlayStation kid, or I'm a PC kid, or I'm a Xbox kid. And that's what I heard growing up in Michigan, at least, right? And a lot of
Mhm.
those same people are the ones I can still see on Twitter any given day of the week. No matter if Xbox posts something awesome, like, hey, like, we know the PlayStation crowd wanted to play Indiana Jones, we're giving you guys Indiana Jones.
Right.
They're still the ones saying corporate greed, and of course they're gonna. And it's like, what aren't you seeing here? Are we not reading the same post here? Because they're literally like, we told you it was gonna be like a couple months later.
Yeah. Yeah, we at the beginning of all this, they said that, right? Like
You're
uh
lucky they're doing it.
there is the side of that, right? Like where they're not releasing it to PlayStation out of the goodness of their heart.
No,
Like I feel like so many people, especially in the gaming space, fail to remember that these are companies and a or businesses. Let's use the term businesses.
yeah,
Go ahead and look that up in Webster Dictionary, and the sole purpose of a business is to make revenue. Like
yes,
everything they do is to make revenue. Nothing. Very. I'll say caveat there. Very few things they do are not revenue charged. Like they
yes,
are out to make profits and raise their bottom line.
yes, yes. So like, with that being said, I think nowadays a console war doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense because you can play your games
No.
anywhere. And Sony, after watching what Microsoft did, in my opinion, watching Microsoft go, we'll just put it on the PC. But we're Microsoft. We are the PC.
Yeah.
Why would we? Why have we not? We've been
Yeah.
shooting ourselves. What are we doing? Sony seeing that went, oh fuck. People
Yeah.
want that, and it's like people have been
Yeah.
telling you that.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. Like not talking about Bloodborne on its 10th anniversary, and then talking about Indiana Jones. It's like Sony. Listen, Indiana Jones is cool. It's a great game. Go play it.
Yeah.
Not acknowledging Bloodborne on its 10th year anniversary, insane. You,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy. It's you had a big opportunity here.
I that one still baffles me to this day. Like again, you want to make money? Release Bloodborne on PC and update the motherfucker. Do a remaster, something like get Bluehole or
Oh, that's
Bluehole, right?
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blue Hole.
Oh yeah, my God, put those guys on there. They're wizards, and
They're waiting.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
I
I
guarantee they have a
still
build right now.
I would think there is some form of a build at this time, yes. If not, it's a huge misstep, and I don't know how they don't notice it, especially on the heels of Elden Ring, where there's been more people talking about Soulsborne games than ever. Why? What are we doing?
I don't know. So, I mean, anymore, like I said, for me, console wars are the same kids I grew up with who never grew the fuck up.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's fun to like watch a lot of it's fun to watch the younger crowd do what we were doing though. That is still fun. It's like that's cool.
yeah,
Right? Like I remember going to GameStops for midnight releases and like a Call of Duty would come out. And it was like, what are you getting it on? Xbox. Ah, fuckhead. Fuck you. Like jokingly though, right? It's like,
yeah.
I'll be on PlayStation, so we can't play together if we wanted to.
Right,
That was fun banter, but now it's
right.
just like it's the most toxic shit you'll see. So
Yeah.
it's not
Again,
fun anymore.
from
It's not
grown
cute
adults.
anymore. Yeah, it's not cute
Yeah.
anymore. That is my stance on that
Fair
topic.
enough. What remind me you got me fired up a little bit. Remind me the second part of this question.
How did we get here?
Oh, yeah, companies
Like, is it us or is it
companies
the companies?
companies used their market share and their each time they would win a generation or lose a generation, they would rally the fucking troops, get the psychologists involved and be like, "Hey, what can we do?" And they're like, "Make that shit exclusive. They'll buy your console."
Yeah,
And again, it's not for the console sales. The console sales mean very little. Most companies lose money on console sales.
yeah,
Very, very, very few make money, and if they do, it is not much. They make money off of software sales. So they're trying to get you into an ecosystem. So that's why they do the whole exclusive thing, right? Or even timed exclusive, like something like
Indiana
fucking
Jones.
yeah, Indiana Jones is a great example of it, right? They wanted to get people into Game Pass. That is all of Xbox's strategy. They don't even really care about the ecosystem itself. They don't care whether you play it on an Xbox or a PC. They want you on Game Pass because that is
Yeah,
consistent revenue. People tend to forget about subscriptions. They just keep paying these motherfuckers for years. And they're like,
yeah.
"Oh shit, what's that $20 charge that's been coming out for the last
Xbox.
oh man, like that's what they want. That is the main function of a subscription. Keep you invested into the subscription so you keep paying month out there after month after month. They don't really care whether you paid $60 for a game. Like, yeah, that's cool. They make money there too, especially something like Indiana Jones where it's a studio they own. They make
Yeah,
all of the money, right? But on top of that, yeah, it's this kind of get people into the ecosystem. So we got here essentially by having exclusives, having Halo, having Gears of War, having Killzone, having Spider-Man, God of War,
Last of
all of these
Us.
things, The
Yeah.
Last of Us, and eventually they created these factions, right? You have
Yeah.
no not very different from the fucking US political system that has two fucking factions.
It's
It's
a
a
big
very
one to unpack right now.
yeah, right. But a very similar idea. They created a fucking green, they created a fucking blue faction, and that's they pit them against each other. They argue. They oh hey well, and before crossplay, right? It was very much like oh well, all my friends are playing on Xbox, and it's time to get a new console. What am I going to
I
play on?
have
Like
to go get an Xbox.
yeah, I gotta get an Xbox. I've got a bunch of money invested in the PlayStation ecosystem, but I'm never gonna play those games. They're old. I want to play the new games with my friends, and it's like, oh well, I'll pick up a PlayStation, and maybe later on I'll get an Xbox too, or whatever it is, right? And so it is that that they created this false sense of like, not false, but a created demand for these consoles by being like, it's not scarcity. Instead, they use tactics like limited games or friends being on this ecosystem. And
FOMO.
then once they
Yeah.
finally got around to crossplay, that those walls came down a little bit. Cross progression, those walls came down a little bit more, and it's like now Discord is on everything, and it those walls came down fucking even more. I can now play
Yep.
with my buddies that still play on consoles. One plays on PlayStation, the other plays on Xbox. I can play with them because Discord, right?
Yep.
And so all of these things and the implemented crossplay into games, right? So all of these things that really made these consoles so important as oh you have to be in this one console or this one ecosystem, it's all gone now. Most of that is entirely gone. The only thing left is exclusive games. And even then, PlayStation is really the only one holding their fucking purse strings on
Hanging
that.
by a thread.
And
Yep.
other than Nintendo, again, we kind of talked about Nintendo. They're the weird kid over in
They're
the
on an
fucking
island,
corner.
bro.
Like, I
Literally,
I
they're on an
love
island.
Nintendo, right? Like I always make that joke, but it is they're playing an entirely different fucking game. Like
Yeah.
everybody else is over here playing kickball. Those motherfuckers are playing tennis by themselves up against a fucking wall, just beating that shit.
Well, like I said, they're literally on an island.
Yeah.
They're
Um
like, do
and
do you over there?
and honestly, it works for them. It's the
Yeah.
perfect spot for them, especially because their main demographic is in Japan, where mobile gaming is fucking massive. And so
Yes.
by capturing that market of being like, hey, we have the best of both worlds. We have the home console, but we also have the portable console. And so they're playing the game at the way they want to play it and the way that works exceptionally well for them, and they're fucking killing it. So no notes. I don't know. What do you want from me? But regardless, like the main battle has always been PlayStation, Xbox, right? That's always been the battle. Back in the day, you had Nintendo, Sega, right? But yeah, it all comes down to at this point, the only wall that is still fucking standing is exclusives, and even
Yeah.
that wall is starting to show cracks. We're starting to get the games on PC. A lot of Xbox gamers are now playing on PC. I imagine the next Xbox that comes out is essentially going to be a fucking PC. And then you can get Steam. And then you can get PlayStation games. It's a fucking workaround, and it's goddamn genius because they're
And
like,
it's
hey,
gonna work.
motherfuckers, if you don't want to play ball with me, what are you going to do? You going to take it away from PC? Go ahead and do that. That's stupid. Let's see what happens. Fucking,
We have Steam now.
like not to tout like Xbox is this grand fucking company, but at the same time, like they are making the smart moves to force PlayStation to come to the table. Like
Yeah.
they're it's what they're doing. It is very smart, and from a pure business perspective, they're doing it right. And
Yes.
finding workarounds to be like, fine, you don't want to play nice, we'll fucking do this. We'll release our games on your consoles. That's fine. You make us money. That's fine. Cool. We'll put it on PC. We'll make the next Xbox a PC with Steam on it, and then they can buy your games there. And guess what? We still get money from that too. So guess what,
While
motherfucker?
Xbox looks like Saints. To those who
They
don't those
look
who don't look
exactly
those who don't look at it with the lens that you and I look at it,
right.
they look like Saints.
Exactly.
And that's great public perception,
Oh,
right? So like
absolutely.
you and I can go, I see what you're doing, P3
Yeah.
and team. I see it. You
Yeah.
got you can wear your little PlayStation shirt all you want, P3. As soon as that camera cuts, that middle finger goes up. And we
Oh,
know that.
oh yeah. But I have to like again, I'm not trying to like blow smoke up these guys' ass by any means, but they're very smart about how they've gone
They're
about this.
doing it.
It is actually very, very smart. And
Yeah,
I
dude.
like flowers where flowers are due, right? Like uh,
Oh man.
it's
N-
impressive. Yeah, I honestly I think the main way we got here is exclusives, right? That's
Yeah.
always been the biggest thing, and locking people into an ecosystem and prior to crossplay, and then people just stayed there because that's what they knew. And there's a bit of almost rose colored glasses there of like, oh yeah, I was always a PlayStation kid growing up, or always an Xbox kid, or a Nintendo kid, or whatever it is. Like, I was not a PlayStation kid growing up. This last console generation, I got a PlayStation because I wanted to play some PlayStation games. Like, I fucking, I don't know. Like we talked about last week, play your games wherever the fuck you want. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I come to gaming because it's fun. It's a hobby. I'm not gonna make this my job to market for these companies.
No, no, and I'm certainly not going to either. I think you're right on the ball with that. I think the volatility from gamers though stems from a lot of different places, right?
Yeah,
Because like, I mean,
I
we had teams
simplified
because
it. I know, but
no, no, that I no, what you did
yeah,
not. You furthered the conversation. I because I was a PC kid though too. So I had my Xbox and we had a PlayStation. I had everything. We had everything in my house because my dad was weird like that. Like not we weren't rich kids, but like he bull rat. He get the window from a glass. I get a window from a glass. He get a window from a glass.
yeah,
I have stairs. He have stairs. I get clock radio. He cannot afford. My dad wasn't having it. Somebody had a PS3 or two. We had a PS3 or two. Someone
right.
had an Xbox. we had to because that's just
It's a
he's vain.
it's a pissing match is what it
It's a
is.
pissing match.
Yeah.
He had to have the biggest TV in the fucking neighborhood.
Yep.
Whatever. So, but that worked to my benefit. So I
Yeah.
had a
Fuck
PlayStation,
it.
Xbox, computer, whatever. So like I remember being in like guilds and servers on like TeamSpeak and GameSpy and all these things I talk about on the show all the time. So like right then and there I could see the degradation of gaming itself, right? So like you start out simple. You don't do the VoIP. You don't do voice chat. You hop into a server. You see a little text bubble that pops up. Hey, GLHF, good luck, have fun. Somebody wins and someone gets called the F word. And you go, well, that's wild. That's
Huh.
crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's the
the
first time
early
I've seen
days
that.
of VoIP were wild.
It's like the first time I've seen that typed out like that. All right. And then you start joining communities where you can actually, oh, there's like groups of these types of people who actually hang out and do this and do
Yeah.
that. But then you see like the good side of gaming, like people who advocate for better games, people who advocate for accessibility in games, which is super important. By the way, illegally cited, if you're listening, we are going to get you on the show.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
there's
I
been a
love
lot of things going on in the background here, but we will absolutely have you on the show.
for the audience, a lot of cool things.
A lot of very
Um,
cool things. Yes.
oh, very pumped. But I mean, i- these companies didn't help
No.
really shape the way that gamers think, because the way these people think, it's hive mind, it's mob mentality, which translates poorly on a ecosystem like Twitter, right? So like you get on Twitter and it's at this point, I mean, it's always been like echo chamber, but now, which we're not going to get into, we're not doing that here, but it's worse now, especially when you see different gaming communities and people in the community go at it, and it's like, dude, god damn, where like when's the last time you like didn't have a bag of Fritos for breakfast and like drink a big thing of Mountain Dew? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's like, god damn, bro, like you don't just because Asmon Gold does it doesn't mean you have to do it too,
Right.
because you're not going to get to that level.
It's okay to
And I
see the sun at times. Yeah.
w- well, and I bring up Asmon Gold because it's streamers for me too.
Yes.
Like we didn't have, God, old man yells at clouds. We had X Play, we had
Yeah.
G4, we had Game Inform magazine, we had PC Mag, we had the PlayStation magazine. You get a grocery store with a demo disc, and that's how you would figure out new shit. Or you would go to like gaming meetups at like your local Funko Land or GameStop, whatever. Now it's like, okay, well, is Shroud playing that game?
Yeah.
And
Oh
that
yeah.
creates different communities, and that creates, well, Shroud didn't like it, so I'm not gonna like it. Okay, but like Shroud and all those motherfuckers are also constantly on the next grift, right? But these kids don't see it, so that creates
Mhm.
bitter people in the gaming community. It's just it's like a dog eat dog fucking vicious cycle that is never gonna fucking end, especially with Twitch
Yeah.
now. And like
And
I like Twitch for what you could do on Twitch though,
yeah, exactly.
but it's also becoming a toxic echo chamber.
Well, yeah, Twitch and YouTube at the same time, right?
Mhm.
Because all of these, especially indie devs, they send out probably thousands of codes for their games to large streamers. Because if a large streamer or large YouTuber gets their hands on that and plays the shit out of a game, that game will explode. Like 100%. Descenders is a perfect example. A game that would have 100% just flown under the radar in most conditions, but a lot of YouTubers grabbed hold of this game.
Yep.
And now kids, especially the most easily manipulated of all gamers, see a YouTuber that plays the shit out of a game on Twitch and they're like, I want to play that. Like
I have to
that's
play that.
cool. That game is amazing. He plays it. Like that game, that's my favorite game now. And it's like
Yeah.
it's all this fucking cycle, right? And then eventually that game goes by the wayside, at least in the streamer's mind, and then they play another game. Well, yeah, this kid comes along and he's like, oh, I really like this YouTuber, and this YouTuber's playing this game. But the video's from 3 years ago, and they get another blip, right? And it gets
Yep.
more attention, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that, I mean, it's no different than how Repo got big or Lethal
Yeah.
Company, because content creators took the game, made fun content with it, attracted not only kids in some cases, right? Like
Us.
us. That's how we got into repo. We saw other people playing. We're like, this looks fun, right? We're just as easily manipulated, but maybe not quite as easily.
It's
But
it's give and take though.
yes,
This is give and take. It's good and bad because you do have good streamers out there. You got
yeah,
good YouTube creators. I'm a big fan of G Man Lives and like Donkey and like people
yeah,
like that. For me, it's like okay, if I see what they're playing and it's good and they're saying it's good, I know for a fact
right.
this is going to be up my alley.
But
If I
the
see
ones
someone
that
like
are just a hamster wheel of game after game after game after
Ninja,
paid promotion,
Shroud,
yes,
all those guys, and I'm not going to say all of them, but like
a good chunk of them.
it's
And
yeah,
and
all
I
those yeah.
I don't blame them, right? Like, at a certain
Get the
point, it's
bag, but
it's
fuck.
their livelihood too, so, yeah, you just keep rotating through games, keep generating new content, and get engagement, and that's the whole fucking hamster wheel, like, but it
And
feels
kids don't
soulless.
see they don't see it's a business, and they don't see these
Yes.
guys, most of them, and a few of them, are trying to make NFT video games still, and it's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
NFTs, you died so hard in gaming, and we thank
I
you for
love
that.
it.
Not a chance in not a snowball's chance in hell. Goodbye. Um, yeah, we got here basically through monetization and
Horse armor,
fucking
baby.
exclusivity, fucking, the word expansion got changed to DLC.
Yeah.
And, you
Well,
know,
an expansion used to come on a disc, not to be the old man fucking shaking his fist at the cloud, but
well,
you used to literally buy a disc for an
it was almost
expansion.
like you got a whole new game.
Yeah, and now
And
it's DLC, right?
an expansion could mean a new map. It also could mean you got 4 new purple shirts. And it's like, why are you fucking me this hard? You didn't even feed me yet.
Yeah.
You're just bending me over without lube. So that's where we're at there.
Always got to
But
feed them first.
the last one. Oh yeah, you gotta wine and dine before you fuck me. But the last bit I want to bring up is because Assassin's Creed Shadows caused some controversy.
Yes. Hmm.
And I'm gonna say this.
I feel like you created this episode to get me all sorts of fucking riled up.
Yeah, but how good is this episode though? Because
But
you're having a good time.
we'll see.
Whoever the admin on the AC, we're not like going into Assassin's Creed Shadows, but whoever the admin is there, whoa,
Hell yeah.
whoa.
Hell yeah. Get him.
Did you see
Fucking
did you
get
see
him.
that they were like, somebody Elon said something like, "This is like a something," and then they took a picture of him and Ghislaine Maxwell and went, "This is a groomer,"
I didn't
and
see
then
that one.
I saved it before it got deleted. I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's so
They
good.
deleted admin deleted it. Come on, AC admin, put that back up. That was good.
Yeah.
But so you got people like Grummz. Grummz is a tiny, insignificant man who failed upwards in gaming. That's why he is where he is. He failed upwards, everybody. If you're a listener and you happen to enjoy Grums, let me try to persuade you not to enjoy Grums. This man has failed upwards. He has a weird thing where he has been accused of, I don't know, being a sex pest in the office, uh, begging a woman for her breast milk to drink. Grums is a sad, strange little man who lives on a planet and an island of his own, and his opinions about gaming are invalid because he's no longer respected in the industry. We, on this show, are more respected than him, and he, at one point, could be considered an industry veteran. He worked on some big titles. He worked with Blizzard. Now he's a cunt.
There it is.
Stop listening to people like him, Ian Miles Chong. This guy doesn't even know anything about gaming. Elon Musk doesn't know anything about gaming.
No. Fuck no.
He pays people to play PoE 2 for him. Okay?
To get on a leaderboard that doesn't fucking matter.
Stop letting these people rile you up. The last bit of this is gaming woke?
No.
The simple and shortest answer to that is fucking no. It's not woke. It's just more accessible now than it has ever been for players to fucking hop into the games they want to hop into.
Yes.
If you think that Doom the Dark Ages is woke because there's a female character who has been uglified, you're insane. what do you want people to look like in certain games?
Yeah.
Do you want a character in Doom, the Dark Ages, a female character to come out with her titties out looking fucking hot? I do not. There's no
No.
reason for it. And secondly, you're in hell. You don't need to look hot in hell. I mean, you could. It'd be cool. I guess hell would be pretty sweet. Makes heaven look shitty, right? You go to hell as everyone's hot. You're like, right on. Up there is boring, right? But like, there's no point for it. You know, people bitching about the Star Wars Outlaws character being an ugly this and ugly that. There's people bitching about Baldur's Gate 3, gay romance, gay this, gay that. The sliders in Doom is making it too easy for people to play. It's making shit accessible for those a part of separate communities that you may not be a part of. Brody and I are two heterosexual white dudes. That's
Mhm.
fine. But guess what? I get down with it all, baby.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I'm down with that. You're cool. We cool.
Yeah.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
so oh yeah, you're gonna get me fucking riled up. All right. Let's see. To oh, I freaked my
In
camera
a good way though.
out. Yes, of course. So wokeness is the stupidest fucking word that exists in our dialect today.
Yes.
To say something is woke for the way someone is absolutely asinine and should never be utilized in that way, shape, or form. Uh, Fucking let people do what they want to do. Who cares? Also, in a game like Baldur's Gate, you don't have to choose the gay romance. You don't have to fuck the bear either. Do what you want to
You can
do.
though. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you do what you want to do. Like, fucking,
Is it not cool to fuck the bear?
I don't know. I did.
I think he should.
What?
Did you really?
Yeah. I was trying to fuck everybody in that game. Are you kidding me?
That's so cool. That's so sweet.
Listen. Okay. No,
Bear
but
fucker.
yeah, right. A game that has options to do what you want to do. You can't get mad because you fucked a gay man. I'm sorry. Like you cannot get mad when you made the active choice to go down this fucking path. Like are we out of our fucking minds? Uh, what? Just don't engage it. If you don't like that content, don't engage in it. If you don't want people to look like fucking I don't know if you've gone to any store or out in public at any point in your life. Not everyone is a 10 with gigantic boobs and a massive ass. I don't know if you have gone out in public. People look like fucking people. It's
Unless I'm
insane to
perfect,
me.
but that's fine.
Right, like,
You
the
said right.
amount of
Very good.
the the amount of God damn it, the amount of people that would hit 10 on a scale of people judging people that you see on a regular
Point
day,
zero
uh,
zero zero one.
fucking minuscule. Everything is on a scale. People look different. People getting mad about Siri looking the way she looks. Sh
Ooh, don't go down that road. I'm
I'm
gonna
going
freak the
down that
fuck
road.
out.
I'm gonna go down
Ooh,
that road. This woman has been through fucking hell. She has
Witcher
scars.
school.
She's been through Witcher school. She has fought fucking monsters. I'm pretty sure she didn't wake up and go, "Well, before I go hunt monsters, I need to put on a bunch of makeup so a
Melt
bunch of
cosmetic.
internet fucking trolls can be happy with the way I look." Fuck
Gooners.
off. Like, just people look like people. Not everybody has to be a fucking supermodel in all the games you want. There's porn out there. Go watch some fucking porn, you goddamn cooners.
You
Like,
can
Jesus
probably go on
Christ.
Pornhub and type in The Witcher,
And then
and you'll
don't be
get.
mad when you click on a gay video, be like, "Oh, fucking Pornhub's woke."
Well, now
You
I'm
clicked on
confused.
you
Do I
clicked
like
on it,
this or do I
man.
not?
Like, what do you want? There's if you don't like the content in a game, don't play the fucking game. You don't have to go shout from the rooftops because nobody else gives a fuck. The only people that give a fuck are the closed-minded idiots like you. Just honestly,
Yes.
in this, not even just in 2025, like caring what other people do in their life is the stupidest fucking thing. Who cares? Care about your friends, care about your life, care about your family. That's what fucking matters. Nothing else fucking matters. There's so many games. There's literally thousands upon thousands of games that come out like damn near every month. There's so
Yes.
much content to play. Go play something else. There's any genre that you like, there's a game out there for you. If you want the most heterosexual, just fucking like alpha
Go play Call of
bullshit
Duty, man.
fucking like there's games out there for you too. Like it's so stupid. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's one of the things that pisses me off the most about this fucking industry. This whole woke fucking bullshit. Who cares? Who cares? Let people do what they want to do. Let people play the games they want to fucking play. If they want to fuck Asterion, let them fuck Asterion. I don't give a fuck.
Probably good sex.
Right? Like I just it drives me absolutely batshit fucking crazy because it's like you don't have to engage with this, but you choose to engage with it and then
Yes.
get mad about it. You knew it was going to be there. It was known. It was a known quantity. You went into it and then we're like, why is this there? I don't know. Did you look the game up before you played it in any capacity whatsoever? Like why? Why do we do this? Why do we do this time and time and time and time and time and time again? This fucking getting mad about woke shit. Like, no, it's people are gay, people are trans. Let them be the way they want to fucking be. Who cares? And games can have it too
Yep.
because it's a real part of reality. Like, fuck off. Are
Treating
you happy now,
games.
Nick? Are you fucking happy?
Yes.
Oh god.
This but this is real though, man.
Yeah,
Like
it
this
is.
is a real thing in gaming that like Brody and I usually we discuss things like this. And we usually don't do it on the show because we want people to have a good time.
Yes.
But there is a time and place for conversations like this. There is a time and place for people to say enough's enough. Because now in the climate we are in this country, and we're not going down that road. We're just not.
No.
Because like it got really weird last week.
It's been weird.
It-
I yeah. Yeah. I fucking it's just
War plans got leaked.
well,
Okay.
yeah.
It's getting weird. So what do you
Uh,
mean I can't text that? But
yeah. God
but
damn it.
in the we'll talk after because
Yeah.
I in the current climate we're in, it's more important now that people in this community really talk to each other. There are lots of people who game and who just exist, right? Who are gay, who are straight, who are confused about their lives, who are downtrodden, who are poor but still get this console, get this
Yeah.
PC, and they just want to escape into reality.
Yeah.
And a part of escaping into reality is also playing a little bit of yourself in a game.
Yeah.
It is
Absolutely.
also there is also the power fantasy of Doom, but
Yeah.
there is also something like It Takes Two or Split Fiction or fuck my wife plays these games.
Life is strange.
It's a Life is Strange series.
Yeah.
Those are great games for a lot of people to play because there's a bit of them in those games. To be pissed that these exist, to be pissed that there's like these options in games to like experience a little bit of slice of life that you're experiencing that
Yeah.
I'm not experiencing is outlandish. It's idiotic. And then to take that hatred that you have and monetize it online and grab your little fucking minions and throw them at the people who just want to play. And when they tell you there's nothing to be mad at here, you attack them further. It's insane. It's asinine.
Mhm.
It's crazy because again, gaming is supposed to be that safe spot for everybody.
Yes.
It's like music. And then you realize going to hardcore shows sucks, and
Well.
it's so fucking tiring going, "Why does everyone hate each other?" And they all talk shit about each other. But gaming was supposed to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring my computer over, I'm gonna bring my console over, we're gonna hook up to the TVs, we're gonna get on the internet, we're gonna buy a bunch of snacks, and we're gonna game and do this all night. This is
Yeah.
our escape." And or it's, "I'm gonna isolate myself for the next couple hours. I'm gonna play Life is Strange. I'm gonna play Duke Nukem or Half-Life. I'm gonna be a scientist for a couple hours." And that's awesome. So why take all that joy from people by saying this is woke now? You know, I would hate to see Duke Nukem today
Oh,
because
yeah.
people would hate it because he would still be Duke, but there'd be a little bit of a sharper edge to him, right? There'd be this, but there would also be something in there where he wouldn't bash gay people. He's like, well, that's not Duke. Yes, it is. Duke is for everybody. What do you mean it's not Duke for him not to bash a gay person or to like just hate crime something? That's not Duke. That was never Duke.
Right.
But people grab this perception of the characters that they love
Yeah,
and
because
they hold on to it.
yeah, not alpha, but he was depicted as this large man with a bunch of guns, like
And
like, and so people
the
latch
yeah.
onto it, and sorry to like fucking go
Yeah,
off
go
a
go.
little bit on a tangent, but the one of the like huge characters that sticks out in my mind for being used in this way, and it's not directly gaming related, Punisher.
Yes.
I have always loved Punisher, and the
Hmm.
people who do this fucking bullshit with like the flags and this and that with Punisher, that's not what Punisher was. He never has
Frank
been.
Castle would hate you and hurt you.
And I God, I want to talk about something that happened in a recent show that I really really loved, but I don't want to
Is it
ruin something.
Daredevil?
Yeah, they I,
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm
I'm not gonna do it. But you and I have to talk about this because
I'm
it
only
was
on
a
episode 3.
it okay. It's a beautiful moment that I was like, fuck yeah, they did it. They did it. And you'll know it when you get there. You'll see it. You'll see it.
No.
I didn't spoil anything. Well,
Okay,
a
okay,
little
okay,
bit
okay.
maybe. But you'll
But
see you've probably already seen some of the things if you're on episode 3. You've seen the Punisher
I
skulls and stuff on his tattoos and tags and stuff around the
yeah, yeah,
city,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. You're good.
Okay.
You'll see the thing. So
So
we'll talk about that
funny
later.
funny you brought that up because people don't realize what the
I have a
X-Men
Punisher skull for the record
and
on my arm.
that's before all people tried to
Yes.
co-opt
I
what
also
that
have a
means.
full Marvel sleeve. Like, it's not because I fucking diehard like, oh, fucking Punisher's so cool. Like, no, he's one of my favorite characters because he's fucking broken as a human,
He's the
and
duality of man
he is
is
the
what the Punisher
duality of
is.
man, right? Like, I have every character I have on my arm is because of something that it means, right? Like a
Mhm.
representation of that character, and it's like I didn't get the Punisher skull because hoorah, like that's not the reason I got the fucking Punisher skull. So for the
Frank as
record.
a man is a very interesting after the show.
Yeah.
Frank's a
Sorry.
great character to
I
dive
didn't
into
mean to derail
mentally.
that, but I
No, no,
you
but
brought up the
I'm
Duke Nukem thing and it made me think of the Punisher
well,
thing. And it's
people
the
don't realize like
same idea, right?
what Duke is. Like, yeah, he's like this big, but like Duke is for everybody,
Yes.
right? People bring up things like X-Men. I'm afraid for the next X-Men film because I don't think people truly understand what X-Men is about.
X-Men has always been quote unquote woke. Ever
There are
since the
gay X-Men.
beginning.
Yep. Thank you.
Since
Yep.
the fucking
It's
beginning.
about it's about segregation.
Yes, 100%. And people who
That's
miss that are absolute. Like, what do you do? What
you
are you
don't
doing?
deserve the content. People that's my biggest thing. The people who do this shit don't deserve this content. So
No,
again, I urge you. I urge you if you're listening to this show, do not listen to people like Elon Musk. Like I'm not
God,
getting political
the
here, but I'm
fact we
just
even have to say that is crazy.
do not listen to him when it comes to gaming. Do not listen to fucking Grummz and all those other people. Asmongold's a shithead. He's a
Yes,
shit stain
yes.
twat.
The fact that he even still has a fan base is insane to me. What are we doing here? Why
He
are
is
we
a
making these kind of troglodytes famous?
no,
Why are we
you
allowing
know,
them to stay famous? These kind of people don't belong in
and
gaming.
infect our
They don't
space.
belong anywhere. He let him fucking rot in his goddamn house with everything
Ugh.
else that's rotting.
And I challenge those who think like this.
Yes,
That's fine. But you can catch swift hands.
right.
I don't give a fuck. I don't leave my space alone. This is for me, my people, and just people in general to just enjoy themselves. That's what gaming is. So, in short, is gaming woke? No,
I
it's just more accessible than it ever has been.
I do want to say something specifically about the
Yes,
Assassin's Creed since you brought that up.
yes, please do.
Everybody is pissed off that, or sorry, not everybody. A loud minority are pissed off about the wokeness of Assassin's Creed Shadows and how it goes against Japanese cultures. There have been multiple Japanese developers that have reached out and been like, yeah, the Japanese people don't have a problem with any of this. They didn't want them desecrating the sacred places, uh, which fair enough.
That's fair. Yeah,
But yeah, absolutely. But as far as the black samurai and a female shinobi, like They don't care. The people who are upset about it are fucking white knighting, fucking again, basement dwelling white dudes in their 30s that have nothing better to be upset about than be mad about a game that doesn't even have any bearing on their culture. Like Japanese developers and Japanese people are not upset about this fucking game. Like as far as
No.
I have seen, and I spend time doing this. This is my job that
The
doesn't
prime
pay, right?
minister was pissed for a minute,
Well,
but
yeah, but like the Apple actual like the main Japanese people
yes,
our fucking president's throwing fits about all sorts of shit that American people don't care about. So here we fucking are. But
I hate that motherfucker. I'm sorry. We can bleep that if we have to.
no, we don't. It's fine. But regardless, it's one of those things like quit virtue signaling. Like if it doesn't affect you as a human being, if it is not going against your culture, shut the fuck up. Don't speak for
Yep.
other people. They have voices. They can talk about it if it's offending them. And at the same time, Assassin's Creed has never claimed to be historically accurate. They use some settings from from history and they expand upon it. They do their own thing. They're telling a fucking story here and they're
Yes.
doing what they want to do with it. And I'm fairly positive they worked alongside Japanese developers and
Would have had
historians
to.
to do this because they're not just going to go in blind. They're not going to go in there and just be like, well, we're going to make what we want to make. No,
Yeah.
that's a death wish. They worked alongside people to make sure that they weren't doing things that were going to harm a culture or harm a group of people. It would be
Es-
stupid not to. So,
Especially a culture like the Japanese who
yes,
take their culture very,
very
very
seriously.
serious.
So, shut the fuck up.
If you guys want to complain to the fragile white men out there, why don't you complain about how Rise Son of Rome wasn't historically accurate? Because if it was, all those Roman soldiers
Wouldn't be
at
white
each
dudes.
at each save point would be fucking each other in the ass because that's what they did.
Yeah. They also, for the majority, would not be a bunch of fucking white dudes. like,
No, no, they
like
wouldn't.
I just
But
fucking
they were doing each other in the ass, which is cool. If you do that, phenomenal. But to the people who are afraid of that, that's what they did.
yeah.
So if you want a historically accurate game, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to be offended about culture use in games and media, you should probably be offended about all of them and don't just pick the ones you want to fucking get upset about even though it's not your culture or whatever. If there is a Japanese person who was upset about this game, I'm sorry, I didn't make the game and I feel for you and I really wish they wouldn't have messed with your culture. I
Yes,
have not played the
not us,
game.
dude.
Like, not me, man. But 90% of the people I've seen that are upset about this game are not Japanese people.
They look like us.
They look like us, but fucking trollish. What do you want?
Yeah, we
Like,
look cool. We're
yeah,
hot.
we're cool, right? Like, fucking, I got tattoos, man. Just kidding.
I got these to make myself look hot.
That's right.
The fatter I get, the more tattoos I get, and the more my fat doesn't look.
That's the spirit. But
Mhm.
yeah, no. At the end of the day, no, gaming is not woke. Sorry. And
Damn it, they're gonna clip that and be like,
yeah,
"See, idiots." They're gonna use
idiots.
the R word, but that's fine.
Yeah. Gaming is not woke. It is diverse, and that is the beauty of it. Just like everything else should be, and just like the humans as a whole. That is
Mhm.
the best part of what we have. Like as humanity, we have diversity, and that should be celebrated, not fucking put down. So shut the fuck up. Play the games you want to play, and stop bitching about one games you haven't even played, and two
Yep.
cultures that are not yours because it's not your fucking place. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not. And
Yeah.
ultimately, like I fucking you you got me spiraling. You said a half hour, and I have gone on these diatribes of like, fuck that, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you.
This is important stuff, though.
It
It
is,
is.
it is absolutely important. And again, you don't have to engage in any of this that you don't want to. This is not torture. No one is forcing you to play this game against your fucking will. Don't do it if you don't want to. If you don't like what they're doing, don't play it. Don't give them your money. So be it. Guess what? They're
Yep.
gonna be okay. And
Yeah.
again, if it is something that does offend your culture, absolutely speak out about it. Like
Yes.
that is your place. That is your place. It is not someone else's place to tell Japanese people that they should be offended about this game. Let them
Yeah.
make that decision. It's not your fucking call. I really don't feel like any of this is fucking hard, but yet here we are. We have to
Yeah.
make an episode like this because there's idiots, idiots
It's
all
getting
over the
worse.
place,
That's
and
why.
the being anonymous on Twitter or X or any sort of social media just gives people this fucking courage, and it's like, no, shut the fuck up. Like I'm right here. I'm on video. I'm on audio. I
Yeah.
My name is Brody Fultz, and fuck you. Sorry, I'm good.
My name is Nicholas Dumitrescu, and fuck you also. I am in Detroit, Michigan. I will fist fight you all, and I don't care. I think I'll leave it off on this. Gaming has changed for the better.
Yes.
And honestly, in my humble opinion, it's always been quote unquote like this.
Yes.
It's always been this woke, quote unquote woke.
Right.
There's always been inclusion in gaming. It's for everybody. It's always been for anybody, no matter who you are, gay, straight, trans, um, white, black, Asian, Native American. It doesn't fucking matter. It was made for everybody, and everybody is welcome here. If anything, you've all changed for the worst.
Yes.
And that's where I'm gonna leave that off.
Or refuse to change.
Or refuse to fucking change.
Yes.
Or you're angry about all the gay stuff in gaming because you're very confused and you don't want to tell people. And it's
Right.
2025.
Like
Come out. It's
if you're
fine.
so goddamn scared of it, like, you might wanna ask yourself why.
It's fine. Come on, tell it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You could talk to Nick and Brody about it.
Yeah. And we've already
I
said
don't
we're
care.
fine with it. We're here for
Yeah,
you.
I'm cool with
We got you.
uh,
If you want a fist
we
fight
yeah,
or you wanna tell us that you're gay, we're here for you.
that's fine. You could I'll give you a kiss. I don't care. I don't
Uh,
even care. All right. That is the serious episode. We finally did one of these, which I figured it was on its way. Was it so bad, Brody?
no. No, I just,
Are you pleasantly surprised?
I'm sweating. I'm angry.
Are you ready to go game?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go game. All right,
Well,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining this week's episode. Next week we'll do a lighthearted episode, more than likely. I think we
Probably.
actually have some things planned out for next week.
Okay.
So you guys might be well, you have to check the DMs.
Oh, I have not done that for a while. I will.
Yes. So we got a couple things planned. Obviously, if you've been watching our Twitter, you have been seeing me plug a movie quite a bit. That's as far as I go with that. So we are doing something with that. We are also talking to the Terabytes guys again.
Hell
So get
yeah.
ready to see those guys on the show. We are very excited for that. Go check Terabytes out. Go get that. It's going to be amazing. Check out the sponsors of the show: Doc Longy, Final Boss. What am I missing? Justin Soroy's Sickest Witch. The book's finally coming
Yeah.
out. The
Hell yeah.
fucking oh my god, the rule book. The rule book is coming out
Yep.
with a DM
Yep.
with a DM
Screen.
fucking screen. So go get that. Go support our buddy Justin. Um man, oh man. Guys, join the spawn camp. Everyone's welcome. Unless you're a weird bigot, then you can't join. We'll
Yeah.
kick you out immediately. But yeah, till next week, guys. Take it easy and be safe.
I love you or fuck you. One of the two. You know which one you are.
Mwah.